Okay, so this is a project I've been wanting to work on for a while. It's a retractable screen door for my kitchen door. And one of the big improvements I made to the kitchen fairly recently was to change our existing door to a full glass door. It just brings in a ton of light, and I've got a beautiful backyard, and it's nice to be able to look out at it. It's raining right now, but one of the downsides is we used to have it was a cheap storm door, but it was nice to kind of open this door and have that cracked, but it didn't have a screen, so it's basically kind of worthless, except for the fact that it let in a lot of light when the storm door was open. But my ultimate plan was to have a screen door here, retractable screen door, so I could leave this door open while I cooked and let fresh air in or whatever and not let the bugs in. Because if you live in DC, Washington DC, you know that the mosquitoes are a pain in the, yeah. So this is what it looks like from the other end. And the idea was to put in a retractable screen door. I wanted to do that last year, and Anderson has a nice one at Home Depot, but they're frequently sold out, but it was a great price. And I was in Costco the other day, and they had one for $150, $160, and I just couldn't pass it up. Plus, it was there. I didn't have to go to Home Depot and get it. So that's what we're going to be working on today, is installing. Installing this screen door, the kitchen. So I'm going to watch the quick video. The door trim, what you have to do is you have to measure the width of the door, and that's the only adjustment that you have to make as far as cutting anything, because tracks basically screw, from what I understand, screw onto the side trim, and the width is basically the track on the bottom and the top that it slides on. And my door trim happens to be, the minimum width without cutting on the kit is 32 inches. My door happens to be 31.5. I'm hoping there's a little bit of leeway there. If not, I can take a hacksaw to each end and screw that in. So I'm going to start disassembling or cutting open the plastic on the packaging and see what we got. Okay, so this is what we got. 32 by 36 by 80. Handy dandy Kershaw speed safe knife. Questionably legal. This is the really cool thing about this knife. It's well packaged. And here are the tracks. Sweet. Okay, so we have the two tracks, and we're going to go and see if this fits. The door is actually like 79.5. I'm hoping there's enough leeway. But this is the beauty of Costco. If it doesn't work, I can return it. Okay. Okay, so the idea is this is going to fit. Ooh, is that going to work? It is going to work. Look at that. I'm hoping this sits here. Oh my goodness, that's actually freaking perfect. This actually might work. What do you know? This might actually work. So I think this actually might work. Okay, so I'm going to cut that. So I guess you don't really need to cut this until you're ready to open it. Close my knife before I stab myself. And yeah, I think that might work. Yeah, so the idea here is going to put the track actually on the concrete, put some concrete drill some concrete holes, and hopefully there's enough meat on this trim, which it feels like, for the screws to bite, score, and then the top trim piece can go up here. Nice. Okay, so this should be the trim pieces on the bottom, and supposedly, okay, this is the sill plate. These are the top and the bottom tracks. Oh, and here it goes, slides into that. Oh, okay, maybe we should do the bottom part.
Okay, so this is the asinine thing about this, is that directions aren't clear. They should put a sticker on here. So what happens is, this track is definitely shaped and contoured, as you can see, like right there. But the problem was, is when you try to fit the track in here, it doesn't want to go in because there's two screws, actually technically 3 screws here, that need to be loosened in order for you to pry this open to get this to slide in. They should just put a little sticker here or here telling you, hey bro, loosen the screws back here so this thing can slide in, and then it all fits in like it's supposed to. It was just off by, you know, a few millimeters, and it's really annoying. So now look at that, that's beautiful, and this should be 32 inches wide, and they just needed to tell you in more clear way.
So it took me a while to figure this out. The directions aren't great, and this probably could take 30 minutes to install. But what it took me a while to figure out was how to get the top pieces and bottom pieces to slide in the track on the side pieces. Turns out there's a few screws here. You need to loosen those up a turn or two. And what that does is allow this to open more to slide the track in. Like I mentioned in the little video I took with the glasses, is that would have saved a lot of time and aggravation. So what I should do now is loosen these screws up now and hope I don't snap off the plastic ends. But yeah, I mean, this is the directions are decent. I'm sure it says it there to loosen the screws, but a couple stickers would have gone a long way. And it is nice that you can find a video for it. So here's the screws on the side pieces that need to be loosened in order for the top and the bottom tracks to slide in. And when they slide in, they fit perfectly. And you can see this, like, oh, it's so close, it just didn't want to fit in there. It was so close, it just didn't want to fit when the screws are tight, but when you loosen it up, it just opens it up just enough for everything to slide in. And work perfectly. So we'll do this side also, and hopefully don't screw up anything. And what's nice about my situation is the sill plate is just going to cover the gap from the existing sill plate to the top and lower track, so you're not crushing it when you walk on it. you know, for $150, I figure this is kind of a disposable thing because eventually it will just wear out over time from opening and closing it. But for 150 bucks, it's totally acceptable. Yeah, so the tricky thing is having to do all of this. Oh, what? No, that's wait. And there it goes. And I can tighten that, I guess. Oops, maybe I could pull this back here and get even a better view, huh? Pardon my messy backyard kitchen door, back kitchen door, what do you want to call it? But, you know, it's spring. So, in theory, this will mate here, and that will be there, and hopefully that will be okay. We'll have to find out in a minute. Okay, so this is turning out to be handy. Okay, so let's slide this. Hopefully this all works out and I don't have to cut off like half an inch off, quarter of an inch off each side, which I'm suspecting I will, but there it is. Yeah, it's this. Slides. Set to extend this 2 inches. And yeah, I'll probably loosen that more. No, I didn't loosen this one yet. That's why it's being difficult. Hello? Okay, so that, ooh, okay, that's bottomed out there. So one of these sides I will allow it to be tight and the other one not tight, so I can adjust it. Please tell me this is going to be, oh my goodness. Okay, oh my goodness, this is Magnolia Tree pain in the ass. That is pretty damn cool. So I'm just going to tighten up that. Oh, it's off by just, oh, crap. I think I'm going to have to shave off just a touch. That's funny. That's funny. Make sure everything's bottomed out. Tight. Oh, nope, there we are. Okay, I gotta loosen that up. That explains why it wasn't square. Don't like how that's bowing. And it's inside. Inside. Oh my goodness. No trimming necessary. Yep, so I'll just set a couple screws here, here, and we're done. So, pull the latch. The idea. Okay. I guess the idea here is if it is tight, that thing won't bind. How are we doing for 30 minutes? I think it's taking longer than 30 minutes. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so it did not come with screws. And we are going to screw this in. Hopefully there's enough meat in here to hold this. Okay. That's one. Didn't feel like it was grabbing a whole lot. Ooh, that felt good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, that's flush. Okay, actually it's not bad. Nice. Okay, so what I needed to happen is I need to square that frame up, and then everything works fine. So the first time I opened and closed it, it just wasn't quite square because this wasn't tight, as tight as it could be. But yeah, it works just like as promised. It latches close. I'm about to screw in the sill plate next. And it's all. Honestly, I don't even think you need the sill plate for this. I am going to leave it out because it doesn't really protect anything. It just keeps crap from falling in there, and this kind of does transfer down. I kind of like having it open so you can vacuum the crud that gets under there. So I'm going to leave this off.
Okay, on second thought, I decided to install the sill plate because it actually adds a little bit of rigidity here from when you're invariably going to step on this track. And I'm going to go and trim this a little bit so this slides in flush. Okay, let's try this one more time. These anvil snips come in handy sometimes. Registration mark, and what the fuck, Will? Such an idiot. Such an idiot. After a couple screw ups, there we go. I think I'm going to set the screw on top of the plastic to kind of keep the plastic from sliding and the whole thing from moving.
Yeah. Easy peasy. 30 minutes, yeah, maybe not, but still not difficult. For the tale of the guy who couldn't leave well enough alone, I actually flipped the door over because I preferred to have the opening as wide as possible when you walk out. The problem with the way I had it before is the latch, when it's open, closes off the it reduces the overall width of the door opening, if that makes sense. And it's better to have it, it's preferable to have that loss of width where you're not walking so much, and which means the part where the door swings in. So there's this loss of width when you have a door open because of just the width of the door and just the swing, if that makes sense, and the hinge. So this width loss is consistent with where the door hinge is, if that makes sense, and how it swings open. So I'm not losing any width. As you can see, where it was here, it made it naturally narrower. When it was here, it made it naturally narrower, and increases the risk of you bumping into it when it's open, and it just makes the door narrower. So anyway, very easy to flip, especially since the door is square, and all the holes, didn't have to drill any holes, it literally just lined up with the existing holes. And well, actually for most of the part. That's what it looks like when you have the door open and the screen door open. There's no loss of space here. It's all lost over here. So when you're walking through, it's unobstructed.